name is Scott Pryor, co-host of the internet radio show Progressive Voices of Arizona. Arizona is made up of a wide variety of individuals, all of which have many different beliefs. Sometimes those whose beliefs are different from the majority tend to be forgotten or marginalized. This is where organizations such as the Secular Coalition for Arizona can help. The Secular Coalition for Arizona is a 501c4 lobby organization that represents the Arizona non-theistic community, a vibrant and growing community of Arizonans who self-identify as atheists, agnostics, humanists, freethinkers, and other labels of personal choosing, to elected officials in and from Arizona. They mediate the relationship between the non-theistic community and elected officials, and they work to ensure that the law is never biased to the detriment and interest of Arizona's non-theists. For more information, please visit their website at www.secularaz.org.
Okay, so we're back, folks. We talked about actually just doing an hour tonight, but we're on a roll, so we're having fun.
We're fired up.
So, we're fired up. Jägermeister does that to you.
Well, we may want to bullshit a little bit and then do some more PSAs so we can let the dogs out because they keep photobombing in the window of the RV.
They keep popping out the windows. When we left our heroes and heroines, we were discussing Congress and the Democratic Party and some of that other fun stuff. Now, one of the things that is a positive, I'm going to give a shout out to Maricopa County. 2016, Maricopa County fielded 9 candidates for county positions and took 6 out of 9.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, that is an impressive and extraordinary thing. Because the big one was they got rid of Arpaio.
Woo!
And by getting rid of Arpaio, now we have no more Tent City. Which was
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So we got to give kudos to where they belong, and the MCDP did a wonderful job fielding their candidates. 6 out of 9 wins, which is unreal in Arizona because we usually get 1 out of 9 wins or something like that. So you folks with MCDP, you did a hell of a job in 2016. Now, we need you in 2018, and we need you to help get some Congress people elected. Not the ones that are there now, but ones that actually give a shit about the people that they are supposed to represent.
Which is going to require actual work.
Now,
not just, they're doing a good job, let's keep them there.
Well, one of the cool things that is happening now is we're seeing, for the first time in a long time, PC training.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, PC is a precinct committee person. Okay. I am a PC in Apache Junction Superstition or something like that.
Something
040,
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah. Which means that basically I'm a precinct committee person elected to be the Democratic voice in my neighborhood, basically. And we've seen a lot of the Republican Party is afraid now because the Democrats have all of a sudden fielded, we're almost at 1,500 PCs, which I think in 2014, I think we were at 600 in the state.
Okay. I was one.
You should be one.
I was one. Oh, yeah, me
when
too.
I was part of the party.
Right?
Yeah. You have to actually be part of the party
I
do
didn't leave the party. The party left me.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually feel that same way. She felt that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or she said, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit," or something like that. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but
Same.
yeah,
It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So what we need to do now is we need to start focusing on 2018. We need to actually field candidates that have a chance, even in districts that are red.
Especially in districts that are red.
Yeah, you see what happened to that guy in Georgia. I mean,
Oh, yeah, he got
shit,
that.
I know, right?
Ossoff, yeah, John Ossoff.
Gosh, great.
So
He
in
was-
the actual election, he could actually
He was
fucking win.
1.1% away from outright winning that
Yeah.
primary.
So close.
So he's going to go run off against Karen
somebody or
yeah,
other.
somebody or another. And it may be close because all of the people, there was like one Democratic candidate in the top 5 or 6, and all the rest were Republicans. If all the Republicans go together, then it's going to be a close race. But if the smart Republicans realize what the fuck they've done that fucked things up,
in a ruby red. Ruby red.
Yeah. Then we could actually see a big change there. And that would be a big fuck you to all the establishment Republicans that think that they know what the fuck they're doing. Which, obviously, they don't.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, that came out in the news this week is that there have been more sexual assault type things by Republican lawmakers than there has been by trans people in the United States.
Makes sense. Fits the profile.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, for those of you that are all high and mighty against trans people, just remember, your Republican representative has probably done more in bad things sexually towards people than a trans person. So, remember that.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
What was that other guy?
Boy, did karma
Oh, and Alex Jones, he's having quite the
Let's talk about
controversy
Alex,
right now.
Alex
What a
Jones. This is great.
fuckwad.
So, for those of you that don't know who Alex Jones is, and how I don't know how anybody could not know who this asshole is.
Right?
He is a InfoWars is his
Oh,
big
yeah.
deal. Okay, he is now in a battle, a custody battle with his ex-wife.
Pretty
over the
brutal.
children. It's pretty brutal. His lawyer came out and said that he is an actor who's playing a role on
completely
his radio
fake.
show. It's completely fake. He's just playing a role. And then he got up on the stand and said, "No, that's actually me. That's what I do. I am all about doing that."
I wanted somebody to assassinate President Obama. That was not an act. I don't like that
I am
Muslim or
So
whatever.
he actually went against his lawyer's advice
Dick.
and shot himself in the ass on that one, I think. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but I honestly don't think, and well, if he has a right-wing nut job judge, then he may win on this one. But if he has somebody that actually has some common sense, they're going to realize, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to let the kids be with this guy because he's a fucking psycho.
All these psychos are going down. Tommy Lauren, she's done. Thank the good Lord.
Well, I haven't heard anything about Limbaugh in forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
these friggin' psychopaths have all of a sudden figured out, well, that's probably not a good idea for us to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late because you just lost all your audience.
Asshole
Or no.
was so last season.
Yeah, it's not the audience that you lost; it's your actual sponsors that you lost. So no money, no airtime.
Well, I saw that Bill O'Reilly still get in his contract.
$25 million.
$25 million.
How was he being punished exactly?
It says if he gets fired, he still gets a year's salary after that. I'm like, what?
They actually pay him $25 million
Yes,
for that shit.
For being fired. Yes. So not only do
Well-
they lose all the sponsorships, they have to pay him on top.
Same thing that happened in Apache Junction with the school superintendent.
Oh,
He resigned, and he still got a couple $1 million in payout.
I need to negotiate a contract like that. For real.
Hey, for those of you that don't know what
my gosh,
Point of Rocks is,
These kids are
we're
about to-
sitting here looking at these kids on top of this cliff. They're up there screaming and yelling and everything. We're waiting for one of them to come falling and flying down.
I got the
into our camp.
YouTube ready.
About 40 feet.
Somebody just got dinged.
That was me.
Parenting of Year of the War, Parenting Award of the Year
Yeah.
goes to.
No, this
Holy-
is Darwinism at its finest right here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, somebody pinged me too.
Really?
Well, that was
we're,
Doug
we're
earlier.
so popular.
I'm not. I'm just an old fat guy.
Oh, shut.
So here's the deal.
Jolly
I'm
old
really,
fat
I'm really
guy.
excited to hear what Bernie's going to say tonight. The other night when they did the live talk with him and Tom Perez, it was live, and they asked Bernie straight up, "Are you a Democrat?" He said, "I do not identify as a Democrat."
Good.
And Tom Perez was sitting right next to him, and they were just asking all these questions about issues, and Bernie was nailing it one after the other. And of course, Tom felt like he had to toe the party line, and it's just really interesting to see what is going on.
Well, I think that the DNC realized just exactly how effective Bernie was. And now they're trying to tie into that. And to tie into that, they have to make it look like, oh, well, we're with Bernie
Yeah.
now.
No.
Whereas, 6 months ago, we're against Bernie. And now it's, well, we're with Bernie. Yeah, he's got some good ideas. We're
Yeah.
going to follow that shit.
Hillary's in hiding and hasn't done jack.
I think she made a comment about something a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
What a disappointment.
Bernie is actually still out there fighting the good fight and making shit happen. that's the person that we should have had as our candidate for the president.
And,
because
you know, I
it
think-
would have been different.
I think it wasn't about less signatures. I think Bernie actually tried to build a bridge by running as a Democrat. I think he knew deep in his heart that it was a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
And the DNC basically just bent him over and fucked him and said, we don't want you. We want this corporate elitist bitch
Yep.
to be our fucking candidate.
Well,
Even though people are screaming,
no.
we don't want her.
Okay, think about 2012. Okay.
That was a long
Do
time
you
ago.
remember Bill Maher in 2012?
I do.
Okay.
Before he turned corporate.
Bill Maher specifically said, okay, Obama's second election is over. Let's not start concentrating on Hillary in 2016. He said, he just won. Let's remember what he's doing
Yeah.
and not worry about what she's going to
Yeah,
maybe
exactly,
do.
yeah.
Well, we saw how that worked out.
So have you guys heard the new book Shattered? There's a
No.
new book out, and it's all about the insides of her campaign and the distrust and the turmoil and all sorts of stuff that was going on within her campaign. And it actually talks about DNC and like the shenanigans that were there and how they were there to silence the Bernie delegates. But it just has to do with just the inner fightings of her campaign in and of
So
itself.
it's going to be kind of like Game Change.
Yeah.
Or Change Game. What was that movie?
Oh,
with,
with
the one about Sarah Palin.
Game Changer.
Yeah, Game Changer with,
Oh.
what was her name?
The one from Evolution.
Woody Harrelson. The one from Evolution. She did a really wonderful job looking down. I mean, acting like Sarah Palin.
Shit, I can't think of her fucking name, but yeah, that was Game Changer. Yeah, it was a really good movie.
Really good movie.
Yeah, this new book, I think it came out today. It's called Shattered.
Is that something that you can get on Amazon or something
Yeah.
like that?
There
Okay,
you go.
so for those of you who want to find out exactly what's going on,
Jillian Moore or something like
Julianne
that?
Moore.
Julianne
Yeah.
Moore.
Julianne Moore.
There you
Yeah.
go,
She was in
So-
The Big Lebowski.
yeah,
Yes, she was.
She was in Evolution
Okay.
with David Duchovny, and she kept tripping over shit. She was a klutz. So the book Shattered
Shattered.
is available on Amazon. So for those of you that are Amazon junkies like we are,
Yes.
go out there and find that shit out. Okay, it's a lot of good stuff.
And who is it? Maureen Dowd, who wrote The Year of Voting Dangerously. She also gives a great insight of what was going on within the campaigns this last year.
Hmm.
And she's a great journalist. Maureen Dowd, older lady.
Well, we know what was going on in our campaigns. We were
It got
getting-
really quiet on those rocks. Did they all perish?
Did they fall off the backside of the mountain
God.
yet?
We figured we would have heard a split.
Well, not if it was on the other side. Only if it came down into our camp.
Oh.
Splat. Like, what was that movie, The Shadow? The guy that falls off the Empire
Yeah,
State
yeah, yeah.
Building and then bounces halfway down.
Aggie Suicide Building.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Good stuff.
God, what else are we going to talk about? Anything cool? Anything interesting?
Oh, just praying for another day here in America. No, we're not
Yeah.
at war.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, folks, because I don't know if anybody's paying attention to what our wonderful president is doing, but we're kind of on the brink at this point in time. And when you have people that have been in war, like my family has been since the Revolutionary War, we're kind of tired of war. We're tired of stupid war. Okay, if somebody was to come over and attack the United States, I'd be all for fucking gung-ho, let's shoot those fuckers down. But us starting wars across on the other side of the planet for a distraction against a election connection to Russia, yeah, I'm not really for that. I'm kind of against that idea of let's start a nuclear war with anybody that we can.
Yeah, all the people.
Yeah, pretty much. We have managed to piss off most of our allies and all of our enemies. For some reason, people don't seem to understand that we created ISIS. Okay? Our policies and our attacks on civilians, women, and children over the past 2 decades created terrorists that come over here and just do stupid shit. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is, lately, the only terrorists that we've seen have been white American males.
True that.
Except for the Facebook killer guy that was running around. He's black.
Yikes, right?
But we have a problem here in the United States. We have a bunch of psychos that are running around feeling entitled, thanks to Mr. 45, that thinks that they can actually do shit that the average American shouldn't. And one of